you brought your sunglasses. And we're off and running between these two really accomplished fighters. Let's see how they come out.
Not a lot of defense here at all.
And he wasn't ready for that counter punch. Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. Nice defense on that jab. One punch could change anything when these two step in the ring. Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. Catch and shoot. And he scores with the counter. Considering we're outside in this sold-out arena, it almost feels like the Roman Coliseum and two gladiators going at it.
Todd, this is something you could never, ever get used to. How many gyms are built outside? How many times do we train, spar, and everything outside? Now you're having a fight outside. This is where fighters may gas themselves out. This is where the environment may make so much of a difference. You may not realize it, but watch when the rounds roll on.
Nice exchanges from both men in this round.
Skill for skill, tap for tap, just like a match made in heaven.
Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there would be some more action here. A very competitive round with 10 seconds left. Talk about Crawford in that last round. And there's the bell for round two. Coming off a very tough round. Let's see what they do here.
This is one of those situations. You've just been hurt. You've got to get out there again. Be smart. Be sharp. Don't be a fool. Don't get suckered in. Make him fight your fight. Hold him. Tie him up just until your head clears again and your legs come back again. Because if you don't, he's going to pop you off.
This counter-puncher is going to wait for you to move first, and then will strike like a snake. Keep an eye on this guy.
Reaction is second to none. It's the blink of an eye, and they're waiting for any little twitch you do. So you've got to fight a counter-puncher smart.
Right when you think the pace will slow down, it picks up. A perfect counter lands. Quick punch scores. Halfway through the round, and I don't know who's got the advantage. Great stuff.
Perfectly matched. Skill for skill. Tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them. More than happy.
Good counter punching. You're fighting a counter-puncher, you want to bait them in to throw first. Make them think you're going to throw a punch so that they exchange.
If you're fighting a counter-puncher, you've got to dummy a shot. Make them react from that, then react then. I know it's hard to think that way, but counter-punchers, they're watching your every move, that every twitch.
This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go. Talk about Crawford in that last round. Well, he is in big trouble here. He may have been saved by the bell. And there's the bell for round three. So not the best round, but let's see if they can turn it around here.
That was a tough last round. Now you've got to make sure he doesn't put it on him. That's what he's going to try and do. So tie him up, hold him, lean on him. Don't get drawn into a fight. Not yet. Not until your senses have come back.
Counter punch right up the middle. Those counter punches have to hurt. Just when you think they're going to have a lull in the action, we get it heated back up. Beautiful Beautiful counter punch. That jab misses. They exchange punches. That counter shot lands. Every time they throw a shot, they get countered. A perfect counter shot. Nice counter shot. The straight right just misses. Gotta let your hands go a little bit. It's okay to be aggressive now. When are we gonna see a jab from these two? Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. Let's talk about Crawford in that last round. Well, this is the time that the trainer needs to come in and say something special. Back at it in round 4. Safe to say that last round was a nightmare. Let's see if we can turn it around here.
They've had 1 minute to recover. Now they've got to bluff it. They've got to bluff it. They've got to come out now and style it out. Get on the back foot, jab, rest on the jab. Be smart and pop until your legs come back. Then put the pressure on.
Well done with that counter shot. What do you think of what we've seen so far from these two boxers, Johnny?
You've got to ruffle their feathers, Todd. You cannot let them get comfortable, drag them, get them complaining to the referee, because once somebody with excellent foot speed and excellent power gets into the rhythm, the fight is over.
That hook was off target. Good counter punch. Gotta like what you're seeing as we reach the halfway point of this round.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
The straight right just misses. As we burn through these rounds, this aggressive fighter continues to come forward, seemingly with endless energy, Johnny.
Look back in the history books, some of the best fighters in the world were the middleweights. Yes, the glamour division is the heavyweights, we know. But I'm telling you now, you look right there, these guys are on it. Fast.
Very close round with 10 seconds to go. Talk about Crawford in that last round. Well, he is glad to have heard that bell.
Every second, every minute of the...
Time for the 5th round. Off their stools and ready to go. Let's hope this round is more competitive.
Now he knows he's been hurt. He's going to come out and put the pressure on. He's going to throw the kitchen sink at you. You've got to be ready for that. Don't fight fire with fire. Hold him off. Be smart, because he's going to try and put you under pressure. He knows your legs are gone. He knows your head's not cleared. Be sharp.
How about that time counter shot? Good looking right hook, but that was blocked. He threw a punch and just got countered. And that jab just missed with the left hand. Shot. How nervous would you get when you know you're facing a big puncher like this that can seriously hurt you?
I've seen certain fighters that can depend on just their power alone. Forget tactics. They know the second they touch you, it's done. That's where the confidence comes from.
Halfway through the round, and there's not a lot separating these two.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. Just like a match made in heaven.
punch, a receipt is coming right back.
You'd like to see more jabs. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. Let's talk about Crawford in that last round. That was almost a 10-8 round. Complete dominance. Let's start the sixth. After a really strong round, let's see if they can finish the job.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
Both men step back for just a moment.
Stamina is so important for these two fighters because it allows them to use their skills throughout the match. It can all come down to who's in better shape.
Middleweights always gives us a class. If you've got two class middleweight fighters, you're in for action. I'm quite sure right now, if you know your boxing, there's a certain fighter, I would just say marvelous, but some fighters were unbelievable middleweight.
Nice exchanges from both men in this round.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them. More than happy.
Punch, counter punch. The jab doesn't quite connect. Gotta let your hands go a little bit. It's okay to be aggressive now. Beautiful counter shot. Every time they drop their guard, they get caught. Talk about Crawford in that last. Round 7, here we go. Well, they got battered last round. How do they turn their fortunes around?
That was a tough last round. Now you've got to make sure he doesn't put it on him. That's what he's going to try and do. So tie him up, hold him, lean on him. Don't get drawn into a fight. Not yet. Not until your senses have come back.
They both want the knockout.
What do you think of this fight so far, Johnny?
This is when you get in the ring feeling like you're King Kong because you know you've got a chin that is not going to get dented.
Nice counter shot. Do you believe what we are seeing? Fighters landing in these exchanges, judge is going to have a tough job.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
Nice counter. And that hook misses. All the time.
That punch has been his best weapon all fight long.
That counter punch caught him clean. This round could go either way. 10 seconds to go. Talk about Crawford in that last round. The game plan is... And And we enter the 8th round. So the fight will continue. How do they turn things around?
This is one of those situations. You've just been hurt. You've got to get out there again. Be smart. Be sharp. Don't be a fool. Don't get suckered in. Make him fight your fight. Hold him. Tie him up just until your head clears again and your legs come back again. Because if you don't, he's going to pop you off.
Nice counter punch. That counter punch caught him clean. Power is obviously the great equalizer in boxing, but when you know your opponent is relying on that so heavily, how do you deal with it?
Sometimes when you get in there with someone that's so powerful, you've got to think him. You've just got to be smarter than him. You've got to be like a little Fagin and pickpocket him.
Holding nothing back here in the round. Beautiful counter punch. Counter punch. Crawford's legs are all over the place. Looks like they've shaken it off.
It's been a tough round so far. It's been a tough round. What do they do? What do they tell him when he goes back to the corner? How are they going to get through this?
Putting the pedal to the metal, but has to be careful that he doesn't run out of gas. Here's a counter shot. Very close round with 10 seconds to go. No surprise there.